Hey guys, Miss Cuban here. In this lesson, I'm going to discuss about simple probability and its complement, and touch on what compound probability is as well. I'm going to use a resource from Maneuver in the Middle, as it is not my physical resource, but it is something we use for notes and for classwork. So I do not want to take ownership. I want to give the person their right, which is copyright law. So for this video, let's talk about simple probability. First of all, we got to remember what probability is. Probability is the likelihood of an event happening, and it is expressed as a number between 0 and 1. So expressed means that is how we write down what the probability is. And when we are talking about a number between 0 and 1, we are talking about a fraction. Well, we know that fractions are part of a whole, so we are going to be comparing what we are looking for versus the total. That's probability. So we write our answers as fractions, and as we know, fractions can be written as a decimal and a percent. And we always do it because we express it as in what we are looking for versus your total, your whole. Okay? That is probability. So let's talk about fractions. In fractions, we have numbers between 0 and 1. And I draw a number line to help us. So with a number line, I went ahead and erased my work. With the number line, I know that I need to count my whole. Because we're talking about part of a whole. Oopsie. Talking about the part of the whole. So first I need to count my whole. I have 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 spaces. That means my denominator is 4 in all of these fractions. And each part represents my numerator. So my first part is 0, so my numerator is 0. So it's equal to 0. My first part from there is 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, 4/4. And that explains what our fractions are. Now, if something is 0, 0% of happening, that means it is going to be impossible. It's never going to happen. There is no chance. So when the weatherman says 0% of rain, that means the entire chance of it going to rain, the probability is 0. It's impossible. It's not going to happen. Okay? 1/4 is 25%. And if something is 25%, it's not that it's impossible, it just means that it is unlikely. It's unlikely that it's going to occur. 1/2 is the same as 50%. That would be equally likely because it's equally on both sides. Equally likely. The next is 75%, and that would be likely. Pretty sure it's going to rain. Pretty sure that the Texas weather don't know what to make up its mind. Would it snow one day and hot the next? And then the 1/2 is 100%. That means for sure 100%, 100% it's going to happen. That's probability. And we use these words to describe what's happening. Once we know that, we can find simple probability. So I'm going to give you a second. I want you to look at these 5 terms. And what is another way we could represent them in a different picture? Because there's many different ways we can represent all 5 words. Okay, let's go to simple probability. Simple probability is the ratio of possible outcomes to the total number of outcomes. For example, if we write it probability of A, that means we are talking about all the chances A is going to happen out of the total. Only A. If it said probability of heads, we're talking about all the times heads is going to happen. If we say the probability of red, we are talking about all the red versus the total. So this little symbol is just telling you what you want. The complement is the probability of the event not occurring. And when you add what happens to the not, you equal the sum of 1, because anything plus the opposite is going to equal 1. For example, probability apostrophe A means what is not A over the total. Complement of red means not red over the total. And remember, fraction's part of a whole. So when I add them together, they're going to give me one whole. Let's look at these 2 problems so you can understand a little bit more. What is the probability of choosing a marble with stripes? So stripes. Stripes, there are 1 stripe out of 5. The complement of stripes is the not stripes. Well, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 that are not stripes, but there's 5 that are total. What is the complement of choosing one with diamonds? Diamonds. Well, there are 2 with diamonds, but there are 3 that's not. So 3 out of 5. And this is simple probability because it's straightforward. I'm just doing the outcomes of one event. Let's look at number 8. What is the probability of spinning a W? Well, there's 1 W out of 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So my probability of a W is 1 out of 7. The complement is the rest. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out of 7. The next question says, What is the complement of spinning a vowel? So my vowels is A, E, I, O, U. So if my vowel is 2, my complement is 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of 7. That's the probability of not having a vowel. So I hope this helps understand what simple probability is, a straight one possible event, and how to write your answers and express it as a fraction. If you have any further questions, please let me know. Like and share the video to help anybody else and future friends. And enjoy your day. Bye.